Hi, my name is Thomas. Welcome to Cheeky Kokako for another miniatures video. In this episode, I'm looking at the mini which I use for one of the dragons, the ancient topaz dragon. The stats for the ancient topaz dragon can be found in Fizban's Treasury of Dragons on page 220. The miniature that I chose for my ancient topaz dragon mini is from Reaper Miniatures, Kyphrixus Clear, number 77625. This unpainted miniature has a base size of gargantuan, which is the size that ancient topaz dragons are meant to be, so it works for me. The sculpt is by Julie Guthrie, who's an absolute legend in the miniature world. She's been making sculpts since the 1970s for the big names back then, Grenadier and Ralpartha. While all of her minis are really nice, her dragons never cease to blow me away, including this one. At around $20 US for an ancient dragon mini made by a miniature legend, you really can't go wrong. Up to now, most of the creatures that I've focused on have been low-level, common creatures that people typically need in order to run many of the published campaigns, or which people might want to use as low-level druids to wild shape into, or something similar. Not today, though. This guy can certainly be brought into a campaign with low-level PCs, but if it is, it should come in as a creature to talk with, and perhaps bargain with, but not to fight. This CR20 dragon would disintegrate literally most low-level parties in the first round. These gargantuan ancient dragons would be great as a warlock's patron, as a source of jobs for the party, as a source of information even, but definitely not as a foe in combat. They have a desiccating breath weapon which deals 14d6 necrotic damage to everything in a 90-foot cone, while also requiring a DC 20 con save or have disadvantage on strength saves and skill checks and deal only half damage on strength-based attacks. Everything in a 90-foot cone for its first attack, which it can follow up before its next turn with a legendary action that targets a creature, and if it fails a DC 19 con save, it's dealt 9d8 more necrotic damage. If this kills the creature, it turns to dust, so no easy returns from the dead for them. This is definitely not a low-level fight. It is, however, an absolutely beautiful mini from Reaper Miniatures, and when I saw it, I knew I needed it as an ancient gem dragon. While the WizKids gem dragons are insanely expensive, Reaper Miniatures has much more reasonable prices, and their sculpts are really nice. I have a lot of Reaper Miniatures dragons, but I always seem to have room for one more every time they come out with a new, beautiful sculpt. As usual, for scale, Inchimic 25mm in the Stork is 1 inch tall from the bottom of its base, while the Summer Eldrin mini will give an idea of the scale of the ancient topaz dragon next to an average human-sized mini. If you're looking for links to the minis in this video, you'll find them in the description. I hope you found this video useful while looking at filling in your Dungeons & Dragons miniature collection. If you have miniatures that you either like or dislike for ancient topaz dragons in your game, let us know what they are in the comments. I'll catch you next time when I show you another miniature from my collection. Until then, this is Thomas for Cheeky Kokako.